Good morning and welcome to Friday morning's Devo on this 25th of November. Yesterday's Thanksgiving. I know the situations in people's lives are varied and different, but for us as believers, if our focus of Thanksgiving is the Lord, He's always the same. And that's the key part, that we don't fall victim to our culture's expected practices of a holiday, because they fluctuate with life and times. So today's devotion is fear of God is a great gift. Fear of God is a great gift. Psalm 147:11 says that the Lord takes pleasure in those that fear him, in those that hope in his mercy. Too often, children forget to respect their parents once their inheritance is settled. Well, this is written in the 1600s. Huh? Things don't change much, do they? And though the doctrine of assurance cannot rightly be accused of producing such bitter fruit, we are too prone to abuse it. Even the best of saints may be led far into temptation after the love of God with eternal life has been passed over to them under the seal of hope's assurance, and may fall into great sin. In other words, we can take our salvation for granted. God opened the depths of his heart and demonstrated his love to David and Solomon in great measure before both of them gave in to sin. A blot left on their history shows the somber shadows of their sin in the light of such divine love. And while their story leaves us examples of human frailty, it also portrays indelible assurance. Because this assurance spreads itself into highest rejoicing from the certainty of our expected glory, we must nourish a holy fear of God in our hearts. The devil is delighted if he can cause saints to sin, but he glories most when he can lay them in the dirt in their Sunday clothes and make them defile their garments of salvation. If he succeeds, he tries to insult God by showing him what a predicament his child is in, and holds up the Christian's assurance for the world to laugh at. After Satan has thrown the Christian into some filthy sin, he asks God, "Is this the assurance you gave him of heaven? And this the garment of salvation you put on him?" Look where he has laid it, and what a mess he has made of your grace. We tremble at the thought of putting such such blasphemy of our loving God into the devil's mouth. At least we should. God's beloved children must not loiter in the sunshine of divine love, but keep moving their feet in the path of duty, because God has been so kind as to make our walk most full of cheer. But we must not lose our reverential fear of God in his familiarity with us. In other words, we who carry the reputation of our God with us in this world, if we have let it be known to others we are followers, we are believers, if we soil that in our lives, if we injure that in our lives, as we hear in the news so often over the last several years with big name leaders, Christian leaders, supposedly Christian leaders anyway, um, finding out the reality of how they lived and acted, it damages the reputation of our God, and it insults the blood of Christ he shed to pay for those sins on the cross. And so I think when we think of human relationships and we think, oh, I don't want to do that, that would hurt that person, or insult that person, if we really care about them, It's got to be even more a fear of insulting and damaging the reputation of God that helps us to stay where we ought to stay. Again, not out of a guilt, but out of fear of hurting him and his reputation to others, insulting the sacrifice that Christ made for us. The Lord takes pleasure in those that fear him and those that hope in his mercy. Blessings to you today. It's more things to be thankful for today. His mercy, his love and grace for us that we want to honor in the way we live. Blessings to you today. Fight the good fight on this Black Friday. If you're like Sue and I, we won't be going near any places today that are doing business just because it's frustrating. Blessings.